According to merger market data, the US is the country where the majority of German companies go for making acquisition, and the other way around is also valid. So the majority of the investment coming from outside Germany is from the US. Latin America only plays a small part. You are very heavily involved advising German companies looking at Latin America and the other way around. So what's your feeling for the next 1-2 years?
Okay, I mean, what you are saying is true. Okay, it's true that maybe the flow of cross-border transactions between Europe and Latin America is lower than with the USA or even with other regions like Australia or things like that. Okay, but what we also feel is that more and more Latin America is becoming a good destination for international investors, including continental Europe, okay, because typically it has been Iberian companies the one that have been investing more in Latin America, and now in the last year we have seen also central European companies doing the same. And what it is also more important is Latin America companies, okay, going or coming into Europe. And for example, last year we have been involved in 3 transactions in which Brazilian companies have been investing in Portugal, in Spain, and in Germany for a total amount of almost $7 billion.
And what were the biggest challenge that the Brazilian company had when investing in Germany?
Typically, I think it is that culturally the countries are so different that they first have to get somehow comfortable with the country, comfortable to the way of doing business here. And also secondly is that it's true that the investors, we need somehow to educate a little bit those Latin American investors to enter into these countries, that many times there are more complex transactions and all of them have to be done in cash consideration, because it's true that Brazilian companies, even they are listed, okay, the Brazilian stock is not considered a hard currency to invest or to buy in Europe. So also that makes limitations, puts certain limitations in
And what about financing? Did you have any problem financing those transactions?
Not at all. No. Not at all. Brazil is a very, very liquid market today. Brazilian companies have plenty of access to financing, and financing has not been any limitation. Having said that, okay, it's not that they have no limitation at all. But if you compare that with European companies, I mean, night and day. Okay, night and day.
One last question. Everyone talks about Brazil, but no one mentions the surrounding countries. But if you look at the political stability in Colombia, things are improving, then Peru. So is just Brazil still?
No, not at all. I like 4 countries a lot in Latin America to invest, that are Brazil, Colombia, Peru, and Chile. Okay, those 4 countries, I think that they have the social stability, political stability, economic stability, potential growth. I mean, everything to invest in. The difference basically is the size. Okay, Brazil is much bigger than the other 3 countries. So many times in terms of size of the investments, I mean, you want to set up a platform in Latin America, you typically go to the largest country. What it is true also is one thing, okay? As our chairman says, if you are not in Brazil, you are not in Latin America. So if you want to be a Latin American player, you must be in Brazil.